Hey folks, this is David Hawley of the Mossy Oak, and we're talking turkey hunting on Turkey Academy. So one thing we want to go through today is kind of the calls that I put in my vest. In my personal preference, I'm going to always have mouth calls at my disposal. That's what I'm most confident in. This is a call case where I've got several mouth calls in there. They're going to be different stretches and tension. Some are going to be louder, some are going to be softer, but I'm also trying to have one call that can kind of do it all. So throughout the course of the season, I'm typically going to go through 4 or 5 mouth calls a year.
Hey, Cus Strickland here, and you're watching Turkey Academy. Everybody wants to talk about turkey calls. Everybody thinks they have the magic call, or man, oh, so-and-so, he can call them turkeys up. I've heard it all. You know, the box call is probably the lever action 30-30 of the deer woods. Kill more deer than anything ever. The box call is probably the most well-used, well-loved, gorgeous-looking turkey instrument there is. I like just a single side. You take it back, put it the right pressure on it, and bring it back to the lip. Yow, yow. And it's just as deadly as anything you'll ever see. Now, friction calls all have some things in common. You gotta chalk them, and don't go buy chalk like you write on the wall with. Find you some box call chalk, and keep that box call and your chalk and a Ziploc in your vest. Don't let it get damp, don't let it get humid. The days when it gets humid and damp are the days you need friction calls the most. I personally believe on those humid, kind of misty days when sound's not carrying, a friction call is the way to go. So a single-sided box call, one you're real comfortable with, one that you can generate a lot in volume with. You can yelp and cluck, or you can locate with it, pop, pop, pop. That, to me, that's priceless. The other famous kind of calls are pot calls or slate calls. They put all kinds of material in them. Glass calls are great for locating. You can screech and scream, and I hear them doing kiki runs on them. Me personally, I just carry a slate made out of slate that I don't have to hit in any certain direction. There's all kinds of other turkey calls. Snuff cans, I call it a tube call. They're by far the hardest to learn how to use, but they make a very unique sound. And sometimes when turkeys have heard a lot, maybe that unique sound will make them gobble or whatever. The problem with the snuff cans and all that, again, your hands. You can't make it work without using your hands. You got to get it up and put it down, get it up and put it down. Again, there's no absolutes.
Also, another thing that you'll probably want to consider carrying is a locator call, or several locator calls. Now, what locator calls are, they're not turkey calls, but they're things like owls, crows, hawks, even pileated woodpeckers. There's a myriad of calls you can use that are designed to elicit a shot gobble out of a turkey. So I personally owl with my natural voice, I crow with my natural voice, so I don't carry locator calls. But if you can't do that, there's a myriad of locator calls that you'll want to carry in your vest. So early in the morning, it may be an owl. Later in the day, it may be a crow call or a hawk call or something like that to try to locate that turkey, get a gobble at them so you can go in and then start calling with your turkey calls. I've also gotten really big the last several years on what's known as a trumpet call. It's kind of modeled off the wing bone concept. It's a suction style. It's great for calling loud. You can get soft on it, but it's a completely different sound than what you get out of other style calls. But everyone's going to be a little bit different on what they put in their turkey vest, and that's kind of what makes it fun, as well as having the right calls for the job at hand.